In today's video, I'm going to share with you 7 reasons why I think you should invest in property. Reason number 1 is because it's a tangible asset. It's an asset that you can see, it's an asset that you can feel, you can touch it, and it's an asset that no matter what happens in the market, we know that markets go up and they go down, but if you hold on to a property long enough, you will always see a return on your investment. I truly believe that. I know some people might think differently, but if you hang on and if you have the long-term goal, you will always see property prices rise. And if you think about it, if you think back to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, how much property was worth then? I personally love it. It's the way I like to invest my money because it's an asset that I can see. It's an asset that I know that no matter what happens, given enough time, if I hang on long enough, I will get a return on my investment. Now, there's nothing wrong in stocks and shares and things like that. If you like to invest in that, then that's great. But I also feel that property to some extent is a little bit more under your control. Yes, you have governments that bring in, we've got higher interest rates and there's inflation and there's all sorts of other external things that happen. But you have the right to buy and sell whenever you want in whatever market that there is at the time. So if the market is low, you can buy and sell. If it's high, you can buy and sell. You just think about what's the best kind of strategy during whatever is happening in the world at the moment, because a lot of people are fearful when there's a recession and when there's a downturn in the market, but that's an opportunity at the end of the day. That is where a lot of savvy investors purchase their properties, obviously on a downturn market. It makes the most sense. So for me personally, I love it. The fact that it's tangible, I can see it, I can touch it. And that's why I thoroughly love investing in property. It's also a great way to diversify your portfolio. So if you do already have stocks and shares, if you do invest in gold and Bitcoin and things like that, then adding in property into your portfolio spreads the risk. So if ever there is an issue with property, then you've got money from elsewhere. If there's an issue with stocks and shares and gold and things like that, then you've still got property. So I always encourage people to diversify if you want to. It helps to spread the risk, but for me, property is the number 1 place to invest. Point number 2, I touched on it just then, is the fact that property appreciates. So given enough time and in the right market, it will appreciate. Obviously, if you buy a property at a great price in the beginning, and that really is where the money is in the purchase price at the very beginning. If you can get a property that's under market value in the very beginning, then it's a win-win scenario. It's being savvy with what you pay for a property in the beginning, but also there's different things that you can do to add value to a property. You can do extensions, you can do renovations. Interior design is huge. How you present a property makes a big difference. So there's ways that you can add value to a property. So never be afraid of a market that is a little bit more on a downturn like what we're currently in at the moment. It will always rise again at some point. So depending on what your strategy is with property, some people just want to buy to flip properties. So they're less worried about what's happening in the market. Their strategy is purely to get that property at a lower price in the very beginning in order to add the value and then to flip it 6 to 12 months later on. So depending on what your strategy is, property prices will appreciate no matter where you live over time, especially if you buy it at the right price in the first place. Also with property, you can leverage your equity. So for instance, the way that I bought my 8 houses initially was that I had a property that I'd bought in London at a very, very low price. And because it was at that low price, I had so much equity in it that I could then take the money out and then buy and buy and buy again. So you can't take all the money out of your property. You can only have a certain percentage of it, because it's a risk for the lender. So they don't want, don't want to give you the full amount in case anything happens, and they need to take that property back, and they need to sell that property. If you've got enough money in a property, then you're able to pull out a certain amount of money in order to then go again and invest again. I think it's a great way of being able to keep investing. You only just have to put down a deposit, 25, 30%, 40%, whatever it is that the lender's looking for. You have to put down a certain deposit. But yeah, you're able to take money out of the property. If you have enough money in the property, you're able to pull some money out and then go and buy another property. Next point is that property provides cash flow. So depending again on what your strategy is, because for some people, their strategy is purely to have that property and hold that property for years and years to come. So they're more focused on potentially rental income, making sure that they have good cash flow over the monthly basis. Some people, it is capital appreciation as well, where they'll hold that property for a while and be able to get that appreciation as the market goes up. But yeah, it really does depend on what your actual strategy is. Are you more concerned about getting a higher monthly cash flow and making sure that there's enough of a monthly amount of profit for you? Or are you more concerned about the capital appreciation over time, that the property is worth more in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years time? So you have to have a little think about that. What's the most important thing to you? Or both could be great. If you're in a major city where potentially, you're near universities, shops, trains and everything else, then you potentially have the best of both worlds with both. But again, it depends on what's happening in your area at the time, what the market is saying, what's happening in the economy and happening in the world. But that's something to bear in mind. What is most important to you? Is it that monthly income, or is it that capital appreciation? But either way, property gives you a cash flow, a passive, hopefully passive income, depending again if you're going to manage the property yourself or if you're going to get a management agent in to do the work for you. It can give you a great passive income where, you've got money coming in theoretically whilst you sleep. Next point is that you may be able to get tax deductions. So if you own investment properties, then it's kind of like a business. So you're able to offset certain things against your expenses, against your tax. So any costs that you incur with regards to running that property, you're able to use that and write that off of your tax in order to keep your tax bill down. Now, you can't do it for your own home. It's only when it's a part of a business type of setup that you're able to do that, and that's what kind of investing in property is generally classed as. So, there are some perks there with regards to being able to deduct certain things from tax and certain expenses. Now, the government here in the UK, they are making it harder. They are definitely making it harder for landlords at the moment with regards to how much that you can offset, and things like capital gains tax is going down, and yeah, they're making it way harder. So you have to make sure you get some tax advice. Make sure you speak to a tax specialist. Property expert would be ideal, but I'm sure, generally most accountants should know what the rules and regulations are. Make sure you seek proper advice with what you can and can't do in relation to offsetting your expenses against your tax. Next point, it's a great savings plan. So it's a great way to set yourself up for retirement. Here in the UK, I doubt very much by the time that I get to retirement age, there will actually be any money there available in the pension pot. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So I really do feel that everybody needs to think about another way of generating money in order for their retirement. And I think property is a great way of doing it. Now, again, you do need to seek financial advice with the best strategy for you, because of course you've got to think about, you've got to pay capital gains tax when you sell a property. So yes, I could have cried when I had to pay my capital gains tax for a property that I sold in London. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. I could have bought a lot of bags with that. Bags, shoes, coats, jumpers. Oh my gosh, I nearly cried when I had to pay it. But, you know, you have to pay. You have to. Nobody wants taxman coming after them. So, yeah, you have to make sure that you are covered financially and that you are paying everybody that needs to be paid. But it is a great way of, you know, setting yourself up for later on in life to have some assets to be able to retire on as you get older. And also another thing to think about is it's a great way to leave a legacy for your children as well. I think that property is great to be able to leave that legacy, pass it on to your children, they can pass it on to their children, and it just sets them up nicely. It just sets them up well. If you think about what property prices are going to be when they get older and the generations further down the line, I think it's just a great way to leave a legacy for your children too. And then finally, it's about fulfillment and control. Because I know for a lot of people, it's about being your own boss. It's about making your own decisions. It's about controlling your future in the way that you want to control it. And I think property gives you that. A lot of people, they can replace their income that they earn from their job through investing in property. And it's not just about the money, it's also about helping to give you financial freedom to be able to do the things that you want to do later on in life. You know, if you want to go and live abroad for 3 months of the year, or go and travel, or buy this or buy that, then you're not restricted by anything or anyone. You're able to do what you want, when you want, and spend time with the people that you want to spend time with, and not be chained to a office, and you know, not be chained to people telling you what to do. And I think for me as well, what I love about it is that it's about helping others. So you probably already know that my goal and my passion is to build women's homes around the world, and just having the opportunity to be able to help a community, help women, to be able to help other people, give them places and spaces where they can thrive, just makes my heart sing. It really does. So for me, investing in property has never been about the money. When I bought my first property, it was to help a woman, and then I bought another property to help a young girl that was 14 and pregnant, had nowhere to live. So I've never invested in property because of the money. I've always done it because I've wanted to help somebody. And so I believe that property is a necessity. Having a roof over your head and having a home is a necessity that everybody, it's just a basic need, isn't it? Just a basic need that everybody should have. So investing in property for me personally is about helping others. First and foremost, it's about helping others, nothing else, not about the money or anything. It's about helping others. But obviously the more money you earn, then for me personally, the more women's homes I can build. So the money side makes sense to me. But and you are helping people, even if your vision is not like my vision, you are still obviously giving people a roof over their head and somewhere to live. So yeah, so I just believe that it gives you that freedom that a lot of people are looking for, and it gives you that control to be able to live your life on your terms. So I hope that this video has helped you, and I hope that I've been able to convince you to invest in property. It is amazing. It does come with problems. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that it's all great, because I have had dramas over how long have I been in property now? 15, 16 years, 17 years, something like that. And I have had many a drama with many a tenant over the years. So it can come with headaches. but I do think it's a great investment still anyway. And I'm going to be launching a program. For those that are interested in investing in property. So click the link down below. There's a free guide that, there's some questions to ask yourself if you are interested in investing in property. There are some questions that you should ask yourself to help get you started and get you moving. So click the link down below, go and sign up to that. It's completely free. You can go and get that, click the link, and I'll be sharing some more property info and insights with you. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments down below or send me a message, and I'll do my best to answer it. So I hope this video has helped you. I shall see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.